It's time for a cup of coffee with Will and Chris at Slumberland Furniture. From Slumberland Furniture in Osage Beach, here are your hosts, William Holtz and Chris Schneider.
It's that time for your weekly cup of coffee from Slumberland at the lake. I'm Wild Will, and as normal, nope, it's not Uncle Chris. It's Jason Stapleton from 107.9 The Coyote. Welcome in, my friend.
Not Chris, man.
Yeah,
a younger version, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit younger. Jason Stapleton going to fill in this week, and we're going to talk about Lake of the Ozarks Offshore 2025 in the books. I'm going to update you on the city of Osage Beach. Huge meeting last week we told you about in last week's show. We'll recap that. Plus, Kam Durnin, man, he's going home to the Missouri Tigers.
Wichita State guy.
Yeah, we'll tell you about that. KC Chiefs mascot Dan Meers retiring, and it's fireworks season coming up. Where are all the 4th of July fireworks shows around the lake? That, and we'll get to know my boy Jason Stapleton just a little bit. That and a whole lot more right after this.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're in the middle of our 4th of July sale, and our deals inside are just as hot as the weather outside. We have deals for every room of the house, and we're doing up to 60 months interest-free financing. We deliver the entire lake area, so you need to come check everything out at Slumberland Furniture. We're bringing happy home.
A cup of coffee as we wake up, in the car, or right here on Lake TV with Will and Chris. Kind of like driving, we do it every single day.
But we shouldn't do it while distracted. Did you know that drivers who text are 23 times more likely to be in a crash? So keep your eyes on the road and always remember to buckle up and put your phones down.
This Drive Safe, Boat Safe message brought to you by Price and Randall Injury Attorneys.
Now back to your cup of coffee with Will and Chris.
Alrighty, that's right. Make sure to remember you drive safe and boat safe, whether you're on the water or taking a spin around Lake of the Ozarks on these crazy windy roads. Buckle up, put your phones down.
Hey, man.
Jason Stapleton, man, welcome.
How about it? Happy to be here, finally.
Yeah, I'll be honest, you've been itching for this opportunity for years, right?
It's just fun hanging out with you, Will. Any opportunity I get, man.
So if you get an opportunity to hang out with me this weekend, you just see me at the boat races. I didn't see you down there, but did you get a chance to catch any of the action?
I was up there Thursday and Friday night, and the Bagnell Dam Strip you could just kind of see, it was kind of a skeleton version of probably what it was on Saturday. I didn't make it out Saturday, but man, those boats lined up on that street are just something to behold, and it was crowded. Oh, that's for sure.
Crowded indeed, and for you offshore racing fanatics out there, and you're not really into it, but I know you love Myrick, right?
Well, listen, I coached Myrick's son in football. That's how I met Myrick, and ever since then, I've just noticed this guy's like the who's who in these racing. He's winning all the time. Yeah,
he's like a Jeff Gordon or a Jimmy Johnson of NASCAR, if you will. Like, if people like it, they absolutely know who that is. And yeah, big weekend. Myrick, Coil, Tyler Miller, MCon Racing, Monster Energy. They took a first and second place finish in Pro Class 1. And then they were in the TS Motorsports factory stock class in Randy and Taylor's boat. They won 2 checkered flags, both Saturday and Sunday. So Myrick ran 4 races this weekend, and he won 3 checkered flags in a second place finish. He's okay.
He's doing okay.
Yeah, but it was such a cool weekend, and if you're like me, I'm like a fanboy when it comes to this industry. I can't get enough of the boats. I can't get enough of the drivers and throttlemen. We had Gary Blue and Cole Leibel with Ray Marine, Mike Falco and Billy Moore with DeFalco Racing. I mean, we mentioned Tyler and Myrick, but some of the ones that you wouldn't hear about or see in some of the media coverage is like Ray Lee. They announced the induction into the Bob Morgan Memorial Lake of the Ozarks Shootout Hall of Fame. Justin Wagner and Slug Hefner part of that class. So exciting stuff. It was a great weekend, and if you plug in to Lake TV social media channels, whether it's my Facebook, Instagram, Lake TV on Facebook, Instagram, or our Lake TV Offshore YouTube page, you can catch every inch of that weekend we'll have posted over the next few weeks, from the class races to team recaps. So good stuff, and as you notice, like that particular industry like offshore racing is not just growing at Lake of the Ozarks, but man, it's taken off like nationally.
It's so fun to watch. It's NASCAR style.
Yeah.
So you have these powerful boats literally just trying to pass each other out there on the water.
Right.
It's great. And how it's all set up, the viewing, I thought I heard a lot of folks talk about how easy it was to get a good vision of the entire race. And so
Yeah, I thought the parking they
was
did
good.
this year below the strip. You paid $20, they
Yep.
shuttled you up, and you could be, I mean, right there next to the dam, you had a great look, and it was pretty open where you could walk up and down. They had a Jumbotron playing some cool content. I saw it on the Jumbotron on Friday, the Lake TV doc series.
Oh, did you?
You know, it was awesome. The guy came down and he goes, yeah, well, we didn't know what to put on, so we put all 30 episodes, the last 3 years of the doc series. Shameless plug, season 4 coming July 11th, Friday. Don't want to miss that. So yeah, Lake of the Ozarks Offshore 2025. It came, it conquered, and it's gone. So as we move forward the summer here at Lake of the Ozarks, what's going on in Coyote Nation for you guys right now?
all the things, man. We're everywhere, right? We cover 13 counties, and obviously we're really busy here at the lake, broadcasting all over the place. I'm sure the Coyote vehicles are everywhere.
Yeah.
The morning shows, really busy. You know, we're a small crew at the Coyote, and so a lot of us do a lot of things, and man, a lot of fun. It's a great time right now with the sun being shining out now, and the entire listening area really with a little bit of that rain. We got so much rain there for a long time, right? And so it seems like now the summer's finally getting started.
Yeah, we said it last week. We were talking about Super Splash. I know you guys work real closely with them, but you know, it was the most rainfall we've had in the Ozarks since 1888 from the National Weather Service when they started tracking, you know, rainfall. And so when you talk about lake bars and the Lake of the Ozarks and what our tourism life is like or industry, you know, that's been rough. So yeah, but you and I both and a lot of people out there excited to see that hot sun.
Sun, baby.
I'll say this, after it being cool and wet, our crew, we shot like 47 hours over the course of 3.5 days. And a lot of that in the direct sun. It took some getting used to and still some recovering, you know, as far as a long weekend. But hey, real quick, first local headline of the week, City of Osage Beach. If you watch the show every week, last week we told you, man, a huge meeting coming up last Tuesday. Normally it's Thursday, but Juneteenth, a national holiday, they say. So it was moved to Tuesday, and it was a massive board meeting. 3 things that I wanted to talk about was the Arrowhead Center project. A lot of you guys know about the senior living retirement community, the nursing home right there, the really nice one, right? The Arrowhead community off KK. Well, they were approaching their 10-year deadline to be at phase 2 of their TIF, redevelopment plan and agreement with the city to qualify for a TIF. I didn't know this was a TIF project. Well, they had brought that to the board, and there was some pushback from the board saying you're too close to your deadline. We haven't seen anything built. They passed the first reading, and they have an August TIF Commission meeting about bundling like 7 different RPAs into one, which was confusing, but I did want the locals to be aware that the Arrowhead Center, that senior living facility off KK, is phase 1 of a multi-phase project. They're planning right now, the redevelopment plan lists nightly rentals and storage units and nightly cottages, and so there was some pushback from Alderman Osteen and Collins saying, hey, those aren't necessarily things we would want to give tax breaks and incentives to. And so they did pass the first reading. The second reading will be in a couple of weeks, and they are going to have a August TIF Commission meeting. We heard from the developer on the project and the mayor and the special counsel to the city. We're all in favor of moving forward because this is very important to them. But I didn't know that was a TIF project. Thought that was worth bringing up. And another popular one. You've heard of like Oasis Amusement, right? Everyone talks about Oasis Amusement Park.
Yeah, talk to us about that, because I know a lot of people are curious what the heck is happening out there.
Right.
So what's happening?
Well, we do know that the big obstacle for developer Jeff Tagethoff with that project was getting clean title from the Lakeport Village or Lakeport Resort condos, right? There was over 2,600 deeds, and he was in the position he had to track down and get everybody, and he was struggling to get the final 60, and he spent over $1 million. He bounty hunters, bail bondsmen, all kinds of different things he had to use to try to find these people. He did get the judge to issue him something that allowed him to move forward. And so I talked with developer Tagethoff over the weekend, and he says that the Ameren has been on site. They're planning to take those utility poles out of there so they can start blasting for the parking garage, which is the next phase of that project. I'm like, everyone's very antsy. And at this meeting, the Board of Aldermen even brought up, it was Justin Hoffman said, yeah, I'd love to hear from the developer himself. Like, when are we going to see anything? We've had lots of teases. And so developer take it off, address the dais and the Board of Aldermen. And he, shared that yeah, they're going to have Ameren on hand to remove those utility poles. We should start seeing some blasting. And the aldermen were like, well, you told us there's going to be crates of tracks and rides out there by now. And he goes, yes, that is coming. So that was the latest update. And then, of course, the big one, if you watched last week's show.
I think the utility poles is a big one, too.
That would be awesome. It'd be a sight to see, right? Just them out there removing those.
Well, nothing happens while those are still up.
Right.
So
I would hope not anyway.
Correct, right.
And the other one, the Anglers Outpost, right? We had told you the last couple weeks on our show about the Anglers Outpost was actually seeking a Chapter 100, $13 million abatement with the city of Osage Beach, or Chapter 100 bonds. And the first meeting on June 5th, it was tabled. The Board of Aldermen seemed perplexed. They absolutely didn't feel comfortable with that. And so at the June 17th meeting, they met with Dan Buck, who was there. They met with special counsel to the city, Cole Bradbury, the city attorney, and Mayor Harmison are very, very well versed and seem very familiar with this project. So the first reading did pass June 17th. There was some pushback, and there is a lot more questions. However, all of these things that are happening with the city of Osage Beach, we didn't even bring up the outlet mall. There's a lot of development taking place, and my takeaway in watching the last couple of Board of Aldermen meeting in their entirety is there's a really good dynamic at play with the city of Osage Beach. You mentioned checks and balances.
That's right. I think they're working.
Whether you like or dislike the mayor of Osage Beach, Mayor Harmison, he has been aggressive in building relationships and attracting development in the area. And this isn't a situation where Mayor Harmison is just going to be able to put this in front of a board and a city attorney and special counsel, and they're going to accept it. I've seen it firsthand watching these meetings. It's great dialogue back and forth between Cole Bradbury, Mike, I think Seidenstricker, I apologize, I probably butchered his name. He's with a bank, and he's special counsel to the city of Osage Beach on development and financial projects. And so this is like way more complex than you would realize, but I see aldermen asking questions. I see agendas getting tabled. I see meetings taking place with aldermen who don't know, going and sitting with the developer and asking their questions. And so that's good, if you ask me, in regards to the city of Osage Beach, because, man, there is some massive things taking place. And when I say the Arrowhead Center, or Centre TIF, that can be alarming to people. Or the Lakeport Village with the Oasis Amusement Park and some of those delays, that can be alarming to people. And of course, the Anglers Outpost Lodge, Chapter 100, $13 million in bonds, that could certainly be alarming to people. But what I do see with the city of Osage Beach is diligence and a difference of opinions when they're not afraid to ask questions and potentially, like we saw at the June 5th meeting, table something important. Let's table it for a couple of weeks and have more discussion.
As long as the dialogue stays productive, right? I love seeing the growth, number one. And so, yes, as long as it stays productive and collaborative, I think they can land somewhere that's probably the best thing for Osage Beach. And so let the process, let the system work.
Yeah, without potentially setting a dangerous precedent for the area or putting the city on the hook for something that could fail potentially. So a lot of that risk management and planning seems to be in place. Those questions are being asked. So I do want to remind people that if you're interested in finding out, don't just take my word for it. You can go watch the Board of Aldermen meeting that takes place every other Thursday. They stream it live to Facebook, live to their YouTube channel, and you can go back and watch those if you can't make the meetings, which I find very helpful because I like to keep in the know with the city.
And thank you for watching those on behalf of all of us, Will,
yeah, man.
And keeping us updated. A lot of us don't got the time to do it.
Last week's meeting was like 11 to 1 a.m. for
probably
me.
Not something I'm going to sit through, right?
Yeah.
But it's nice to be able to think, you know what? Will's going to watch it. He'll tell us about it.
Inspired by Dave Moppin and what he's doing with the Camden County Commission,
Right. Okay.
In the Dogwoods. His blog is amazing, and he sits there in every single meeting, bullets it, kind of tells you what happened. And so a lot of us, we can't go through that. Anyway, appreciate you saying that. And as we move forward, I wanted to give a shout out to our friends at Central Ozarks Medical Center, the exclusive medical provider of Lake TV. They've got 3 new providers joining the the team Dr. Maria Barnaby and Dr. Paul Barnaby, both MDs. Dr. Maria Barnaby is a pediatrician dealing with children, and Dr. Paul Barnaby, her husband, is a family doctor, my former family doctor, and soon to be my new family doctor now that he's back. Excited about that. And Holly Dukes, the FNPC, family medicine as well. All three seeing new patients currently at COMC, currently at the Osage Beach location, and will soon be seeing patients at the COMC Hy-Vee location, which is super exciting. You can go to COMC's Facebook page for all updates, or if you're interested in scheduling a consultation or your first appointment, reach out 877-406-2662. Always love seeing those headlines. New providers in the lake area, right?
Always a good thing.
We need health providers all over the country. There's a shortage, and these ones are beloved. Dr. Paul and Maria Barnaby. Congratulations to them, and congratulations to our friends at COMC. All right, big story here. Kam Durnin, right? Camdenton alum, stud, playing D1 baseball the last couple of years at your alma mater.
Well, not my alma mater, but I grew up in Hutchinson, Kansas. Cam was at Wichita State University playing baseball.
So you're just a Shockers fan?
I love the Shockers. Been supporting the Shockers for a long time, and I can tell you, basketball and baseball, they win games.
Oh, bro.
They win baseball games. They're a part of the American Athletic Conference, I believe, right? And, you know, he's moving up to the SEC. I mean, that's a different ball game.
Sure.
But totally, he did well over in Wichita State.
But to get recruited and get the full scholarship to Wichita State, that is a D1 powerhouse. Even though they play in that conference, you know, they're always relevant when it comes time to College World Series. They've made some runs. And it's not like he wasn't relevant at Wichita State. I mean, my goodness, in 2 years, he started 106 games. He appeared in 112, batted .258, 9 long balls, and 60 runs batted in. In 106 games batted in, he had 60 ribbies, meaning that's that's every 2 games you're batting in a run.
Yeah, you can see why Mizzou wants him.
Correct.
Let's
now,
go.
and along those lines, Kam, he announced this on his social media, but you look at him going to Mizzou, and this is a program in desperate need of Kam Durnin services, because Mizzou last year, 16-39 overall, 3-27 in SEC play.
Wow.
You go back a year before that, they were 23-32, 9-21 in SEC play, 12-48 over the last 2 years in the best conference in baseball, arguably. That's what Kam Durnin's walking into. Congratulations to Kam Durnin, and really congratulations to Mizzou Nation, because you're getting a dog in Kam Durnin. That's your everyday shortstop playing with the black and gold next year. I'm pumped up about it.
Shockers.
Yeah, the Shockers. They lost a good one. So, all right, another thing, we told you about Offshore. It was a crazy week starting Thursday through Sunday, but it was a busy week at the lake outside of Offshore races. We had one of our friends down the Bagnell Dam Strip. You've heard of Caribbean Mix, right?
I have. Is it Caribbean?
Oh, Caribbean. Yeah,
Caribbean?
Caribbean or Caribbean?
I'm not sure which.
We
talked about this before we started.
I knew I'd butcher it. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure my boy
Caribbean.
Andon announces it properly. Without further ado, check it out.
My name's Andon, I'm from Caribbean Mix. We are going on our 3rd season this year. Sorry for the late opening. Been really busy outside of this, but we still got our amazing burrito tacos, our award-winning wings, our phenomenal Cuban sandwich, and we are doing our late night menu till 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Come in and see us. We are gonna have a cocktail menu as soon as we get that in, and yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I want to get in there and try those wings, man. You want to go down there with me? Try some wings soon?
Today.
I mean, that's
Right.
Yeah, let's go. We're going after the show, headed to get some wings. And
Whoever
eat a
says
taco.
Caribbean or Caribbean correctly,
Gets-
I guess has to handle the check. Or,
I like it.
Anyway.
I like it. We're going to go get that. Go down and see Andon and crew. A really cool place down there. Congratulations to them. All right, so you're a big KC Chiefs guy, right?
Yeah, I am, Will.
And if you follow the Chiefs or sports, KC Wolf is an iconic figure in the NFL and in the mascot world. And
It's a big deal.
after 35 years, the greatest professional sports mascot of all time, Dan Meers, or KC Wolf, as a lot of you know him as, has announced his retirement. You see that?
I did, and I'm sorry. I'm going to take us off subject. I just enjoy hearing you talk about Kansas City Chiefs sports, man.
Yeah.
Football. I do. Buffalo Bills, and
I
here you are in Chiefs country.
Well, let me say this about
I just
Dan
love
Meers.
hearing it from you.
You could be a Raiders, Broncos,
We
and
even
a
got
Chargers
the best mascot.
fan. A Raiders, you could be a Raiders, Chargers, and Broncos fan, and still love KC Wolf and Dan Meers.
That's
he
okay.
is unbelievable.
good.
In college, he was Truman the Tiger from 1986 to 1990. He was Fred Bird for the St. Louis Cardinals for a couple of years in the early 90s. He was in the 2006 inaugural class for the Mascot Hall of Fame. In 2001, he went viral for taking out a drunk fan at the Pro Bowl who had gotten onto the field. In 2007, he helped security take down a drunk fan and then was iconically viral for his bodybuilder pose afterwards. And probably one of the most memorable things that happened to Dan Meers was in November of 2013. He had a spine injury from a ziplining incident
I
where he was
remember this.
practicing for a zipline stunt. He broke ribs, his back, his spine. He had a punctured lung, and that would lead him to write his book, Wolves Can't Fly and Mascots on a Mission. And he has, since that moment, spent his entire life inspiring and reaching out to others. And Dan Meers is such an amazing man. Congratulations on his retirement. And we're lifting up the Meers family with everything they've got going. He just lost his wife due to her battle with cancer. And he steps away to focus on his kids and his grandkids. But I've seen him speak 4 times. And every time I was challenged and moved. And Dan Meers will go down, in my opinion, as the greatest mascot in the history of sports.
Excellent report.
Oh, he's the man. And that's it. That's all you're going to get for KC Chiefs because it was Dan Meers. You know, the rest of it, go Bills. We're taking the
There it
AFC.
is.
We're going for it.
There
The
it
Chiefs have
is.
nothing. And now that you're the best part of your team is retiring, I'm worried about you guys. Your
I don't know.
mascot, bro.
We got other pieces.
You've
Like-
never won a Super Bowl without KC Wolf.
No,
Actually, that's
listen.
not true. In '69, it was something else that rode the. It was an Indian on a horseback up until 1972, I believe, when the inception of KC Wolf.
It's gonna be hard to replace, man.
It's
That's for
no
sure.
doubt. All right, hey, I know what you guys are wanting to know about fireworks, right? At the lake. Are there any fireworks shows going on this year at Lake of the Ozarks, Jason?
There is probably a few,
All right, very
and that's the understatement, right?
well. The report was that there wasn't going to be a lot. You remember
There
the
was.
TCLA funding went away. A lot of the big ones said, "Hey, we don't get that funding. We're not going to be able to put on fireworks shows." So I was ready for doom and gloom this 4th of July
Doom and
season. I
gloom.
was like, "There's going to be no fireworks." Well, real quick, July 3rd.
Here's the list.
Captain Ron's. July 4th, there's a whole bunch, so buckle up. You got the Wet Spot Bar and Grill, Point Randall Resort, the always popular Lodge of the Four Seasons, Lake Valley Country Club, my probably personal favorite, City of Eldon on July
great one.
4th. They got the fair that goes on that day. Like, yeah, it's amazing. They also got a 5K that morning, I think, this year. Like, Eldon does it right for 4th of July. I grew up in Eldon, and that was like our Super Bowl each year. We
Okay.
had the Turkey Fest, Sacred Heart Church picnic, but what you really couldn't wait for was the 4th of July show in Eldon. And when we lived back in Eldon, you know, Unique and I went to that every year we were there, a couple years with Brindley. It's awesome.
Did you run the 5K?
Please. might have slowly walked the 5K. July 4th and 5th, both days at Bear Bottoms. July 5th, the city of Lynn Creek. Also on July 5th, you got 3 others. Celebration Cruises, that would probably be pretty cool.
That would be an
Board
excellent
at
one.
7:30.
You bet.
You'll be back at 9. That would be cool. July 5th, Dale Hollow Winery, and also that day, Iberia on the 5th is having their Independence Day celebration, which will be really cool. So that is your rundown. Now, I want to thank Heather Brown with the Convention and Visitors Bureau for helping me compile that list and for an up-to-date, like last minute, if they get any additional fireworks shows, you can go to funlake.com/events or just funlake.com and click on events. And there might have some additions, and if you know of ones that are happening, like drop that down in the comments so people watching this know of others that will start piling up down there. So thank you guys.
I remember there was a buzz about, will there be fireworks, will there
Right.
not be fireworks? And I was just never too worried about it. Number one, I live in a cove, like there's 10 fireworks displays happening at the exact same time right off my deck. So one of my favorite times of the year to be down here. So.
And if you're like Jason and you want to put on something big in your own cove or on your own property and have a blast, well, the exclusive fireworks of William Holtz and Lake TV are Kovacs fireworks. For 37 years, they've been the most trusted name in fireworks. Becky, Sid, and her crew, they've got all your needs. And here's what's cool. Manufactured direct, Jason, so you don't get the markup. Massive climate control indoor showroom.
Climate controlled indoor showroom.
Yes. So you don't have to be out in that hot tent, right? Like you got a cart.
Heard that.
Here's what's cool too. They got scanners. Every single firework, and there's probably 36 billion options. You scan it, there's video screens show you exactly what the firework looks like as it goes off in the sky.
No way.
Really, really cool. And they're in Warsaw and in Lori. You're gonna wanna look for the windmill off Sherman Drive right there. It's pretty close to Lake West Marina, Carmelitas, and chances are. And stay tuned to our Facebook, because like right now, we're gonna show you, there's a cool feature. I'm gonna show you how much $300 will get you. Also, we're giving away a few $100s in fireworks. And plus, if you wanna go pick up a $5 off a $25 purchase, we've got those all over the west side at the gas stations, at chances are at Carmelitas. So stop by and get your promo card. It'll save you $5 on any purchase of $25 or more. And they're already like 50% as much as all the tents. So big savings with Kovacs fireworks this season. It's gonna be awesome.
It is. 4th of July, like I said, Lake of the Ozarks.
What do you guys do? Do you guys do like a big shindig for 4th of July?
Honestly.
You're a pyro, aren't you?
No, well, listen, I live in a cove. We have a lot of neighbors. They shoot off a lot of fireworks. So what I have slowly became is the DJ for the fireworks display that's happening in my cove.
Makes sense.
So I'll sit out these house concert speakers, and I'll just start running through every political song I could think of.
I love it.
4th of July song, anything
Greenwood,
red,
baby.
white, and blue. We're just playing it. We're playing it loud, and it's sort of the background music to a bunch of fireworks going off all over the place. A lot of fun, but that's the thing. Lake of the Ozarks, it's a good place to be. 4th of July.
All right, we got a couple minutes. I had to find out. You've not always been at Lake of the Ozarks. So who is Jason Stapleton, my man? Tell us your story. You a Lake local, or where you come from?
Okay, so wife and kids moved here from Memphis, Tennessee. About 8 years ago. Up to prior to that, we grew up in Kansas, North Wichita, as we stated earlier.
Glad you said Shockers and not Jayhawks.
Hey, buddy, rock chalk. Now that's a whole other conversation.
Whole nother war about to start. Bills, Chiefs, Tigers, Jayhawks. We got all over.
Well, now you can find both me and my wife. First of all, we got 3 kids, 3 beautiful children. Our youngest is Joey. She's 11. We've got Cameron, who's 19, and we've got Bryson, who is 21. And the wife and I are busy at the station. It's a 1-2
your
punch.
wife hosts a morning
That's
show.
right.
Crystal, she's amazing.
Crystal's our morning show host, award-winning morning show host. Her show is absolutely fun to listen to. The person that is over the air that you're hearing over the air is the person that's who she is.
Yeah.
And that's what's really, really great about her show in the morning. It's authentic and it's really very, very fun. Interactive too. Take a lot of live callers, which is part of the fun in the morning show. It's just the banter back and forth with the callers.
I've always loved some of the stuff
Yes,
on 107.9. I think a lot of people remember KC and the Round Man.
Sure.
Many years award-winning, one of the #1 shows in the state of Missouri. But the Secret Sound is something that I've always
Still doing
loved. Yeah, of course you are.
Crowd, they love it. They love it. The guesses, the kids that call in. That's my favorite part. A lot of times there's some children that call in, and it's interactive. It's nice to interact with the audience. That's really what our station's about, Will.
Yeah, and you guys are
yes.
massive audience. We think you guys are located here, Lake of the Ozarks. You've got Unlimited World Media. But listen, your guys' listening audience is, you guys are all the way Lebanon, St. Robert, Fort Lauderdale. You guys are Fort Leonard Wood. You guys are Fort Lauderdale. Fort Leonard Wood. I was like, man, all the way down there in Florida, man, you guys are killing it. But you guys have a large listening audience.
Man, and we impact a lot of areas. When I say impact, I'm talking about moving the needle for local businesses that need to get the message out as far as what they have going on and what they want people to know about them. And it is, to us, we love the I-44 corridor. Yeah. We love the Lake of the Ozarks, and we love the fact that we can connect those 2 areas to one another, all the way to Rolla, but of course all the way up to Eldon. To us, it's about entertaining the masses. We're interested in wanting to reach the masses, and so we don't do a lot of talk. It's not a talk radio station, if you will. We're an entertainment station.
And you guys have fun, dude.
We have a lot of fun.
Well,
the energy level's high. and we care about the audience. I think that's where it all starts with.
Well, that's your man, Jason Stapleton, sales manager with the Coyote. Give him a call, reach out to him. But hey, I appreciate you being here, filling in for Chris this week.
Thanks,
this was
man.
a
Appreciate
lot
it.
of fun.
Yeah,
and
it
not
is.
only this week, you can catch Captain Ron Dugan on the Lake TV Community Spotlight Show with Chris Schneider. Really cool stuff. See what they're doing out there at Ron's, and of course, some cool feature stuff. But that's going to do it for this week's Cup of Coffee.
Heck of a
Jason
showroom.
Stapleton. I'm William Holtz from Slumberland at the Lake. We'll see you next time.